Is my town ready to vote? Yes, definitely. Why? Because I feel like everybody has a different political opinion, and they have political parties that they feel are going to meet the needs and the concerns that they have. And the only way they can make that possible is if they vote. So a lot of people are pretty excited about this year's elections, and they are turning out in numbers, especially youths, because they actually want to use the power that they have and express themselves. So I feel like a lot of people are ready to vote.
Okay, this is Zembe Decides again, and as always, we bring to you creative content and content that engages you in topics that matter. And as you might know, this is July, a month to the polls on the 12th of August. Everyone has got expectations, different changes going on. And today we are discussing Kabwe's political environment and how best young people should choose an elected representative with regards to the polls on the 12th of August. So to discuss out with me in length today, we have a guest, and he's going to introduce himself so that we can actually engage in the same. So I feel like saying your name, but again I shouldn't. Okay, so just take it up. Tell us who you are, Chief.
Well, to begin with, first, I'm humbled and grateful to have me here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a second year public health student from the University of Lusaka, Kabwe based, born and bred from Kabwe. And my full names are Muhongo George. I think that's that for now.
Yeah. He's forgotten to mention they call him the George.
Not that here, come on.
Well, it is indeed an interactive platform, and it is good to know that the individual you're interacting with is born and bred from Kabwe. So he definitely has the hoops and loops around the whole district, and we hope that by the end of this conversation, you and I are going to learn a few things that we're going to look at as we're going to vote on the 12th of August. To start with, George, are you voting this year?
Well, yeah, I just have to. Why not? Why not? Like, I don't say this year, but it's my first time voting, so
okay.
I'm so eager to feel like to have that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
To exercise my right and really push and see if my vote will really count this time.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of say about individuals going around saying they don't really feel an individual vote can influence an entire nation's decisions. What's your take on that?
Well, numbers, when we're counting exactly, we begin from 1. So I believe you understand what I mean right now.
Yeah.
Those numbers, for them to reach the 12,000, the 13,000, they basically begin from a 1. So I think one vote is very important. No wonder people, these politicians that we have, no wonder we see them going to do their campaigns, like door-to-door campaigns, meeting up individuals and stuff. So they believe, and they also feel the impact of one vote.
Of one vote, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's just definitely established. One vote goes a long way. As George has mentioned, we start from 1.
Yes.
1 then going up. So one vote definitely counts. Looking at Kabwe, we are only about 2,000 something in number from the last census conducted. And we have a lot of steam going on from councillors, the mayor position, MPs as well. What do you feel? Do you feel the aspiring candidates are fit for the job? Do you really feel these guys that are coming up to want to sit on these positions for Kabwe can really fit the description with regards to what Kabwe really needs right now?
That's a very that's an interesting question, I may say, right now. Because for them to stand, I believe, or I feel they've felt it in them to say I'm eligible to carry out the works of, let's say, maybe a councillor, maybe a mayor or something like that. So it's up to them now during these campaigns to prove to the people. But let me just say, as at now, we all don't know which candidate is fit. We've had so many people taking over those positions from, like, let's say, from the times of, may so rest in peace, the times of David Kaunda, yes. So all those people proved to people to say, okay, they came in with, with their manifestos. From the manifesto, we can tell to say, okay, this person means good, but with the execution of their manifestos, things change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you know?
Yeah, of course, things definitely change when it comes to executing the manifestos.
Exactly. So they come in with their sweet talks and stuff, but as they begin their work, we don't know where the devil comes in.
Yeah, I definitely get that point.
Exactly. Their manifestos sound so sweet. Yeah, we even go for their meetings, get to learn one or two things. Okay, these people are brilliant when it comes to like their levels of thinking.
Yeah,
they're very sharp. So they come in with their manifestos and stuff. But when it comes to I don't know where the problem is exactly. Once they bring in the manifestos, there's a time where manje Africa it's now time to work. If the top leaders, I'm talking this because I've had that interaction with the councillors mostly.
Yeah,
I haven't had that. Kayama MPs were busy mostly. I don't know up to your side, but to me they've been so busy.
They are definitely closed doors, even though they are public offices.
Yes, those people are supposed to be, their offices are supposed to be so open, but it's so unfortunate. I don't know. It's so unfortunate, exactly. Yeah. So what I think is that, I don't know what the problem is. If it's because those people, once we vote for them, we believe in their manifesto. Now to execute their manifesto, that's where a challenge comes in.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah, Marimba Pepaja. We don't know if it's their higher officers that give them pressure not to. Anyway, let's see where this conversation goes. When they begin to like everything.
That's definitely cardinal, especially if you look at the aspect of them coming in with a manifesto, of which they have already started since they started a long time back. Some even before the 90-day period, talking about what they will have to do, what they will have to change. If it is those that were not holding the then positions, they're talking about what they want to do when they hold those positions. Those that are holding the positions are like, okay, up and now we've worked on this, let's continue working on this and stuff like that. Do you really feel that these individuals that had held the previous positions for councillor and mayor and MP, did they do a satisfactory enough job with what they campaigned with in their manifestos 5 years ago before they assumed these positions? Do you feel they have done enough? Do you feel they have done according to their manifesto?
Responding to your question, Enoch, I will be so honest and how can I say this? Okay, let's put it this way. I'm saying this based on my personal opinion and not degrading anyone. Yeah. To my side, you know where I come from. I won't mention now, but they've rushed. There's a rush in execution of programs. Pay up Kasalama, isn't that days 4 or 5 weeks. They're now trying
about a month into.
Yes, they've now given each and every community what I would term. I would quote to be lies. They're not trying to lie. They're not working exactly. So from the time being, I think they all have proper plans, but it brings us back to what I mentioned earlier to say, I don't know where the challenge really is. But when beginning, we believed in these people to say, okay, they will do the very best. Because I knew the councillor from the place I stay. The time he was like, it's now time to leave. I wanna like where was he? Was this wow? Okay,
5 years.
Exactly. So it's to my side, rating it out of 10. I think they've done somewhere maybe let's say 6. 5.
That's fairly honest. It's a good rating even, because when someone has been given a duty to execute, you go to the people, you make people believe in you, you make people vote for you, you acquire that public office. Yeah. And in the period of 5 years, we only start seeing. 5 years is a very long. It's a very long period of time. Indeed, it is very long. That's a whole lot of years put all together, and then we only see constructive activities being done in the last year, months before the election.
In the last quarter of maybe the last year of the elections.
Yeah, which is quite unfortunate if you ask me. I mean, even from my community.
Okay, if I may ask you as well, what's your take on, like, we had, we had these leaders, MPs, councillors, and these other WDC, if we might mention them here. Yeah. What's your take? Do you really feel they've put in their very best to execute their duties?
My honest best is they haven't really done their duty, because even I in my community, I'm now seeing 2 roads being constructed.
I didn't just want to mention roads when I said they're bringing lights.
I'm seeing two roads. There's this road in Gungu, right by the last roundabout to your left. There was a time when we had seen Magravel being brought, right? That was like
asphalt, something like that. Yeah,
2-3 years back. But now, like when that was brought, it was all dust. And now that we are going towards elections, we're now seeing Mama Gegeun and everybody and they are grading the road, and you know, so it leaves a lot of question. And with regards to them executing enough, I don't really think they have. In this period of 5 years, we have seen through the local government the incoming of street lights. But that's the only thing that you can point to saying. Well, this
coming to that, yes. Like there's our area is Wacha Ngongwe. Why is it that these lights, Mama street lights, are Kunangu Mazima? Like you've been to Kawata before.
Yeah.
You know, Kawata lights up. Ushikungo Afkan Kawata. You maybe think you're in Kawata, Machilenje somewhere. These places like those street lights, Siamazima. If it's off, then there's a fault and they would fix it there and then. Kwatukuno, these lights. I once heard, I asked to say, I won't mention who I asked, but I asked one of these people that leads these communities to say, why is it that some, like here in Ngungu, or maybe Chimanimani, why my lights and Asi Oyaka? The response I got was that ama light yali poa. Ama units na hapa. Why did okay,
how?
I wouldn't question. Yeah.
How?
You have a question, I know. You're already beating up a question as well. I was told to say ama units yalipo. I don't know if that was a response enough. Ama units yalipo, or maybe he was just trying to cover up other incoming questions. You know. Because it's
units could street light.
Imagine those. Anyway.
Whoa.
Not to part 2 of 10 next month.
You know, it may be that we're just trying to cover up.
Yeah, maybe I think so. Yeah,
it may be a thing to do with maybe Zesco power grids and these things of electricity and stuff. But him saying my units, and I said maybe this lights.
You know, I was expecting
prepaid meter or something. But
I was expecting him to give me that response to say no, Zesco power grid and stuff. I would have shot him another question to say, so are you telling me to say I am a street light Sianu? They are connected to a separate line than these homes? Because I'm a light man, but I'm a street light Siala.
These street lights are not on in the night.
At times they are, at times they're not.
Which is very not safe if it's
exactly,
because they're there for security.
Exactly. Those were installed for security purposes. But anyway, we're not blaming anyone. We're just
what was promised has not been delivered. It's definitely a point of discussion.
Yeah.
Looking at your community, I actually passed through there today in the morning. Do you really feel that the people aspiring to stand as councillor in your ward, either of them can really deliver on the promises that they have been making so far?
You know, I'll be so honest with you right now concerning that. Okay, right now there are 2 political parties that are like top notch, like my campaigns and let me not mention names, but with the 2 candidates, I think I know one who's I think that guy can deliver, yes. But the other one, I don't know where he's from. Like he don't you know, when such issues come up, like I already lost confidence to say I don't know him. So with the other guy, I'm confident because the guy has been he's always up. Yeah, he's always up and down when community is known. But the other his opponent, like for me, no. But the other guy, I think. Let me not deceive myself here to say I think he will deliver, because why to be pasana?
Yeah,
you understand? Yeah, why to be pasana? So niera ko bati taukwete option, but you feel watch that. So for me, I feel
that's the most viable.
Exactly.
That is there among is the option.
Now if you niera ko bati now send which exam now send my banana. then yonze nayo nengakora afya tu vibe ile imwe moneka ko bwino
at least
ni ati so ni at least ukwetiko vetu, but the other guy I'm so honest, I don't know him, like Kaya, for other people, don't, but for me, I don't know him. Yeah.
So when you look at councillors, these are individuals. Personally, I feel councillors must really be individuals of, good integrity enough to deliver what the community needs. Because if anything, councillors, I would say they are privileged to have like a sitting or a group of people who are not paid but are dedicated to their job. The Ward Development Committee is.
I wanted to mention that as well. Yes,
those guys are not paid, but they're there to ensure that the development of the community is actually taken forward. And councillors actually are above the Ward Development Committees. But ever since the forming of the Ward Development Committees, in this area, in your area and mine, I'm free to mention my area. I'm in Ngungu people, so both Nyungungu and Odi Ngungu. I personally do not feel they have done quite enough as expected. Again, it may be that individuals are just not participating enough to foresee this change that we want, or it's them on an aspect of effectiveness of delivery. Right? Over the years, we've heard a number of things going on, from an aspect of receiving CDF, an aspect of Youth Empowerment Fund, and all these kind of things that we've been hearing all this while.
Yeah.
Have they worked for your community, George?
To begin with, first I would mention to say what makes these people fail. By these people, I mean the councillors and the WDC, is that they do not build that relationship before they begin working. Okay?
Yeah.
The relationship so no wonder they begin to say the council has got his own interest. Now WDC my interest. I was quite right. They have these meetings to say a council meeting the WDC, but it's at attention. You understand? They do not work for one common goal. But WDC, for my community, they try to charge, like to. How can I say, to challenge the cancer kama nangati akwanisha feel I'm pushing sana. So am I relationship taiwa sana. So for me, I would say if only these people build relationships before they even begin executing their duties out, I think everything would be fine, because the Ward Development Committee, its aim is to help plan which programs are best fit for the community. Yes, but yes, as a councillor, you might think of something, but make sure that it goes in line with the WDC, because what WDC then councillor can't be in all places at once. So it's a matter of them building that relationship before they even just happening about. But we never to my elections. They're elected with the WDC.
Yes, those are elected.
Yeah, elected.
Not for my general elections though, but they are elected.
To my elections.
No wonder they don't campaign as much as we're seeing these things going on. But they're elected.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the issue with me. Am I relationships to we know? So I think that's my take on that.
Yeah, I definitely think at this point there's a lot going forward with regards to the aspect of Kabwe. I've been sitting with George, we've been discussing the aspect of the political environment in Kabwe and how best these local leaders such as councillors and ward development committees go about their promises, effectiveness of delivery, and many other things like that. So we're going to take a short break, and after that we're going to hear more content on how best young people can phrase their mindset, can change their mindset and look at what they can consider with regards to choosing an elected representative in the district of Kabwe. It is Embedded Science, and keep on listening.
I am ready to vote, so is my town. I am voting because it is my right. To me, voting is more than just electing a candidate. It is choosing the right people who have the country's best interest in mind. And these people will implement policies that will benefit everyone. If you don't vote, other people will vote for you and they'll make that decision for you. Remember, your vote, your right.
Voting is not just a right, it's a civic duty that you and I have to bring about the change that we want through our leaders. And we don't just vote for presidents. It starts with your local area councillor, then mayor, and the list goes on. On the 12th of August, I am going to stand strong and bold with a firm vote. I am deciding my leader, and you should too.
Welcome back. It is again Zembe Decides, and we're still with the Jojo discussing this.
This is George. This is George. Please. This is George. This is George.
We're still with George discussing Kabwe and its political environment. As Elia mentioned, we're now looking forward to the aspect of what young people should consider. You know, Kabwe has got a lot of words in it. We've only about spoken more greatly on an aspect of Ngungu and his community, but that doesn't exclude the fact that there are other communities as well.
Exactly.
Right? There are a ton of communities out there, and you know, I must say that Kabwe houses Katondo. Right, I'm sure this should be a familiar name by now, because at a point, Katondo made headlines with regards to it being ghetto in a way. Kabwe as a district also houses about 37,000 individuals living in or near lead-affected areas, as reported by the Human Rights Watch. So yes, Kabwe goes through a lot of, a ton of issues evolving around it. Kabwe was once an economic center for Zambia after independence because of the mining activities that were there. And we're at a point where there's lead poisoning, even though some people would not want to accept it or make it public. But the truth is, there's lead poisoning in Kabwe. And we've been seeing non-government organizations jumping in to assist, and even government assisting with regards to remediation and coming up with programs for testing and treatment of lead. One key problem with lead, again, is that when someone, for you to be detected that you've got lead in your system, at that point it is high, because when lead is in low amounts in your system, it can be detected, which is a huge problem. So, George.
Yes.
These problems that Kabwe have and these leaders that are coming in power, personally, I haven't heard of any political leader, be it mayor or MP, talking about the aspect of lead and how best they can handle that situation. What's your best response towards that?
Well, that's with me as well.
Yeah.
That's with me as well. I've not heard like any... Okay, the reason is simple why we haven't, because we're not really exposed to those people standing in those areas that are...
Lead affected.
Yeah, exactly. That are pretty much affected by the lead. The likes of mine compounds.
Yeah.
There is,
some of
those areas. Exactly. So our main focus here has been Wacha, Ngungu, Chimaniman, because these leaders mostly sometimes let's go and help campaign for this guy. So exposure to those people outside hasn't really been high as per se. So I think that's the reason why I haven't but I'll challenge one leader if I met them in town for those areas we've mentioned to say, what's your plan about this lead problem? Because they are all mentioning things to do with bring water sanitation, improve the water sanitation, the roads, and these problems have been songs and poems for so long.
Yeah, they definitely have been.
Yeah, but we can say it's exposure that we don't have with those leaders outside that has really made it us not know if they are really mentioning it as that now.
If anything, I think let me gather some few minutes. We'll call the aspiring mayoral candidates. We get to ask them about this issue. I think that would be a good idea. And
exactly,
if anything, we'll get to reach out to a youth in these lead-affected areas to get their say on an aspect of the same. And we'll try and air it on this podcast that people get informed about this kind of issues and what's going on. Looking at what people should consider, you've been in Kabwe for quite a good number of time, and you literally know Kabwe with its ups and downs. What do you really think young people should look for in an individual if they're placing them as leader? Let's start with the mayor.
Well, we're voting, guys. It's time to vote. It's time to vote for your right candidate. And do you know what's surprising?
What's that?
Particularly when people say vote for the right candidate, you know what I mean? Voting for the right candidate is anyway, that's funny. But anyway,
they're saying it's subliminally mean something else.
It means something else. But what I feel as that now, concerning the mayor, the position of a mayor is a very cardinal position for a place like Kabwe.
Yeah.
What you might what you might deem to be important might not be important to me. So let's let's first factor out what's really important to your personal level. Like, if I choose this one, how exactly am I going to benefit from me helping them reach out, like winning that mayoral position?
Yeah.
Secondly, youths, let's not be bought. Let's not be bought. Like, let's not be bought by simple things like you getting a kachitenge, you getting enough political regalia and stuff. Let's vote based on facts. We've known these people for quite some time, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So let's be factual when choosing these leaders. Let's not be influenced by these simple issues. You know, 5 years is a very long period of time.
Yeah, indeed it is.
It's a very long period.
Someone
of time.
is able to get a bachelor's degree in 5 years.
In 5 years.
Now
So,
1 year, Sarah.
very simple. I wish I finished school tomorrow. But anyway, we'll see on the road. But exactly, let's be factual in choosing these leaders. Let's not get influenced by these simple vitenge, tumakepes, t-shirts. Okay, if you're given, get, but be factual in choosing your leaders. That's what I would say, for now.
You know, going to these people that I really feel that they have a huge influence on policy formulation and, ensuring the development of constituencies, the MPs. These hold quite a huge chunk of power because they're the ones that even go to parliament and the ones that deliberate on the aspect of creation of laws, discussion of bills and whatnot. Looking at Kabwe and the environment that it is in, either with regards to its business setup and whatsoever, what do you think that these political candidates for constituencies might want to consider if they are put in power? What change would you love to see if they are put in power with regards to them representing their people best?
So I'll pinpoint that question, Enoch. They should first consider the youths. The youths should be considered first because youths are with these little statistics that I've been checking lately. I think young people are more in number in Kabwe than any other age.
Yeah.
So I believe having that in mind, what they should consider is that any decision they make, the larger number that is going to be affected are youths. So first, they should these political leaders. These aspiring political leaders, what they should consider first is that I don't know if they've considered this already, but in their manifestos, I think this is just some simple advice I'd give. They should have considered to say, let's come up with projects or programs that will really cater for this large number who are the youths.
Yeah, the young people.
I think you get my point by this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So young people should first be considered. I'm not saying we should sideline these elderly people, these older citizens and stuff, but because young people are large in number, prioritize them first. This is what I think. This is my opinion. I think this is what should be
done.
Yeah, I will consider that exactly.
Leaders.
Yeah.
Prioritizing of young individuals is what's cardinal. Personally, I believe that young people are the only or are the best alternative to solving Zambia's current dilemma of governance, democracy, economics, and a lot of things like that. So considering young people actually, be it with regards to when we're employing a group of individuals, ensure that a portion is directly for young people.
Exactly.
If there is allocation of land, let's empower young people. Let there be reforms, policies that favor young people, that favor them by merit. Again, this doesn't mean when a young person,
So long as someone is young, you give them. So by merit, like
by merit, they deserve it. Then let it be accorded to them like that. Issue of empowerment, George. Issue of empowerment in Kabwe has been an issue.
Youth empowerment
has been an issue. People have been saying no, that money only goes to people. But
honestly, like Nainesha Monapo Muntu Apo Kaka, I'm being honest with you right now. Umuntu na issue baine. Okay, if they get, it's a luck.
Yeah.
But in Nainesha Monapo Muntu na issue to say, like I know you to say, okay, Enoch. Nopikisha has got a chunk of his money.
I did apply for youth empowerment once. I did. I had.
You got some?
No, I had a garbage collection team ready
yeah.
and project ready. We did go to the council. We did have interaction with council. We did apply. No response.
Exactly. So
So what can this do? Personally, I feel if these elected individuals should really scrutinize these processes, right? I'm not directly saying that it's flawed. My belief, yes, in my opinion, there's a flaw somewhere. It may be with accountability, it may be with execution, it may be with the selection process or quantifying how best someone qualifies for that kind of loan. Because I don't even think there's enough solid training that is given to individuals with ideas.
Yeah.
So I think they should really look at the aspect of these empowerment funds that come in and then ensure that it is done in a way that is effective and efficiently distributed to individuals that deserve them.
What you say just takes us back to the point of policy prioritization.
Yeah.
But they should first prioritize because I'm a youth vengi sana. So if they are put to if you do to my interactions like with the youths around Wachach, Manimani, Ngongo, these areas, these people have got really good ideas. Bakotama ideas are which needs government support.
Yeah.
By government support, I mean these MPs should be so. Cause councillor tabakwata office wa councillor.
No, tabakwata. They don't have offices.
Once a person is elected as a councillor, they become a public figure. I can't go panganda wa councillor to explain my personal problem or like. Do you remember the times in high school? You have a issue, then you want to reach out to a guidance teacher or guidance office. You can't really be free. Like I'm a counselor. Another issue I've found is that counselors, I want to issue sanga exactly for our counselors. What do you office? A counselor should have at least open space for everybody sanga to say.
They should have open space
exactly,
so they can be found at least.
Yes.
I think
that's a challenge. I think which is Kuno area. So I think councillors should maybe find open places, office spaces. I think for easy access.
Because Panyumba, that's why his family is.
Yes,
that's his home and
that's home and the councillor that's work.
Yeah.
So these two things should be
looked at discreetly.
Exactly. But we never scrutinize because they can because it's so obnoxious.
George.
I'm George. I'm not the George. This is the issue we're talking about. We're working here. I'm George. Come on. Yo, so that's it exactly.
Yeah, okay. Definitely amazing conversations I've been having with George. We're now going into the concluding aspect of where we're just trying to get the concluding points and notes from George. So George, as you conclude in your statements, what should a young person look for in a leader? And what is your final word before you close this session?
Well, what I would say is that us young people should be so conscious when going for these political rallies. Yeah. So I'm going for those. What? We're going for what?
Rallies.
Exactly. So we should be so cautious because let's not just be. I always mention this to my friends. I'm so hard to convince. We might go, but I'm bad in time. They push us on questions in it. So let's be factual. Let's not get lied to.
Yeah.
Let's not get lied to. At least ask them questions. What you feel or what you think is best for your community. And lastly, I would say let's all turn out in numbers and vote, because voting is our right.
Indeed.
Exactly. Always mask up and stay indoors where necessary. I think that's right. So I'm gonna cause a law. Yeah, but that's that. I've had an amazing experience being being on your cast today.
Nah, thank you.
Yeah, being on the cast. I always call you honorable. You've observed that.
Yeah.
Honorable Pikisha MP for Wacha constituency.
Yeah. Well, there are no current political ambitions.
Yeah.
We don't know what the Lord is taking us.
Yeah, exactly. But I've had an amazing experience being here. I look forward to host or maybe to cast another to do another podcast with you.
Indeed,
this is a very this is a very good initiative that you've come up with, because it's uncommon around. It's uncommon, and anyway. Let me not say much. Thank you, listeners. Make sure you share and share.
To all the dear listeners again, thank you so much for you keep on listening to the podcast, and just a few achievements I would love to run by you. We have about 400 and something plays, with us being available on about 11 platforms, YouTube being the 12th, because every podcast episode is also shared with YouTube. So you can definitely catch Zambia Decides on your favorite streaming applications, including Deezer, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Anchor FM in just one click. It has been Zambia Decides, and we've been sitting here with George. George would be problems. Umujimbo George.
Exactly.
And we've had quite an interesting conversation about Kabwe, and most definitely we'll try and reach out to individuals who are in lead affected areas in Kabwe and just bring you details about the same. We are voting on the 12th of August, so be sure to keep your voters card and NRC safe, because that's what counts the most. And on the 12th of August, as George said, pick a leader that you feel is right for you. Personally, who can deliver. Do not be influenced by anything. Have a strong belief in what you want and vote based on why you want the country to grow, not on an aspect of the regalia. Yeah, so thank you so much, guys, and keep on listening. It has been Zambia Decides with Enoch. Stay blessed.